Okay. So this article is called Students Using AI, Artificial Intelligence, Over Humans to Learn English. And it's
Mm-hmm.
at the intermediate level. So
Oh,
if you would, begin to read here where it talks about more and more students
mm-hmm.
and read out loud so that I can correct any uh,
Uh,
pronunciation.
okay, I will start. More and more students in Japan are using artificial intelligence (AI) to learn English and other languages. The language learning app Duolingo conducted a survey on how students study languages. More than 4,700 Japanese students answered questions about their language learning habits. The survey found that the number of people using ChatGPT and other AI tools increased by more than 80% in 2024. AI was particularly popular with younger people. Then researchers said more young people used AI than took face to face lessons. However, some people in their 20s were not totally happy with AI lessons. They said AI lacked natural responses and was a little boring. Duolingo said, "We are in the midst of an AI revolution. Technology has long had an impact on language learning." It found that apps were the most popular method in Japan to learn languages. English was the most studied language, followed by Korean. People are studying Korean to understand the language as spoken by favorite artists and celebrities. Duolingo said around 57% of people who
58.
took
58.
58% of people who took the survey used language learning apps. This was followed by video streaming platforms like YouTube and Netflix, 37%, textbooks, 36%, and online lessons, 16%. The number of people going to a language school is decreasing. Just 13.8 percent of people went to classes with a teacher.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this. Do you think that AI will replace teachers one day, especially for language learning? What are your thoughts about that?
It is possible that in future we will have AI teachers, but I think never it, never, never it will be on some high level as real face-to-face conversation. It
Okay.
can be some simulation where AI model can can fix some students' mistakes, give suggestion, can have conversation, but it is not too much natural.
Okay. I just corrected you. It will never be at a high level.
It will never be on a high level.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Let me go back. I agree. I study languages also, so um, I study on my own. I've taken classes um, in a classroom and have not been satisfied. It could have just been the country that I was in. I was in Italy. Uh, the class was not very good.
Hmm.
So I have since, gotten books and have been studying and trying to teach myself. I have relatives that speak Italian. However, they do not want or they don't have the time or the ability to teach me. I can ask them an occasional question, yes, but it doesn't really help me. I need to study on my own and repeat the lesson when I don't feel like I really understand it or ask one of my relatives to explain it to me
Mhm.
more. So that's what I do. How do you learn? Are you just using or just starting with italki, or you studied
Uh,
in classroom, or
in my life, I have both
Mhm,
experience. I had a lesson in classroom when I was at university. It
mhm,
was more than 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago.
uh-huh,
But after coronavirus period,
right.
I started to work remotely, and also I discover italki. So I used to italki maybe 2 years so far.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So here I have a true false exercise for us to do. The
Mm,
article says many people are learning multiple languages.
uh,
Is that true or false in from the article?
yeah, from yeah, my how I can say my problem is when I read,
Uh,
I focus myself on pronunciation
yeah.
more than understand
Uh-huh.
concept. But I will try to explain.
Okay. I
So
know people that do that, and
yeah, yeah,
it's a it's a habit that you need
yeah,
to go away from.
mm,
It's not really going to help
yeah.
you. Okay.
Uh,
So, did they say that the article said many people are learning multiple languages, more than one language?
yes, I remember we had Korean and English. I
Right.
think.
So, not, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say multiple. Multiple would be like three or more. So, they're learning English and Korean. Uh, they're
So
learning
it,
Korean because it's so close to Japanese.
yeah. So then, in case it is false.
It is. It is. Okay. The number of people using AI tools increased by 80% in 2024.
Yeah, it is true.
Mhm.
I see text.
Right. Mhm.
Okay.
And young people are still preferring face to face lessons over
Uh,
AI.
I think it is true.
Let's see.
Or young people are still preferring face.
Let's see if we can find
Uh,
where young people are. Young people used AI more. The researchers said more young
uh,
people used AI than took face to face lessons.
mm,
However, some people in their 20s were not totally happy with the AI
uh,
lessons.
uh-huh.
So that one really is, they don't prefer the AI lessons.
Okay.
So that would be false. Okay. People in their 20s loved the natural responses of AI lessons.
Uh, so I think it is false.
It is.
Mm.
They, after some time, realized that that AI, right here, that they said AI lacked natural responses and was a little boring. I have
Mm-hmm.
an app
Mm-hmm.
that I'm using, an AI app. It's okay, because it reminds me, hey, we have to speak today. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only really good thing about it. Okay. An app company said there was an AI revolution happening.
Yes, it is true.
It is true. And then the app company said people are studying Korean to understand artists.
Um, yes, favorite artists and celebrities.
Right. And
Okay.
when they say artist, I think they're talking about uh, people who sing,
Yeah.
artist. Okay.
S-
Uh, More people used video streaming than textbooks.
mm, Yes, for 1%.
Yes.
It is true.
Like YouTube or uh, all of the social media apps have some video streaming, and people just get a sound bite. They get a small amount of the lesson, words maybe, or a sentence completely. Okay. Just over 20% of the people in the survey had an English teacher.
Sorry, I had an English. It is false.
It is false. Okay. Good. Good job. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do synonym. Synonym is a word similar in
Mm-hmm.
meaning to the word. So they have 1 through 10, these words here, and then the synonym is A through J, and they want us to match
Mm-hmm.
those.
Mm-hmm.
So conducted is most closely like what word in this
Mm,
column?
co- mm, uh, conduct. I'm not sure, but I will try. Maybe it is similar to practices.
I can see why you would say that, because when
Yeah.
you conduct something, you practice something.
Yeah.
But conducted is actually carried out,
Ah.
meaning that they performed. Do you know the word
Mm-hmm.
performed? I would have put performed there. It's a better word, but they said carried out. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so then we have habits. Habits.
Habits. Habits. It is similar for me with personalities, but also with practices, because also we can practice habits,
Uh-huh.
but habits also something like part of man, some
Okay,
characteristics, personalities,
uh-huh.
but yeah.
Yeah, personalities would be like things that are a person is friendly, they're
Yeah.
outgoing, they're shy. Those kinds of things would be personalities. So habits really is practices. It's
Okay.
what we do on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Particularly, particularly.
uh, Particularly, uh, uh, similar to especially, maybe.
Uh, yes, it is. Mhm. Very good.
Yeah.
Especially. Okay.
Okay.
And totally?
Totally is related to entirely.
Entirely. And
Uh,
boring,
Boring, maybe is monotonous.
monotonous. Yes, it is correct.
Monotonous. Okay,
Yes, it's
monotonous.
a monotonous. Monotonous. Okay.
Uh,
Missed. Missed.
Missed. I don't know meaning
Okay. Okay.
of myths. Uh,
Okay. I wonder if I translate that for you, if it would help you. Let me just give that a try.
uh,
It means to be in the middle of something, really.
ah,
To be in the
ah.
middle of something. I think that is probably the
The,
easiest way.
Maybe develop process of develop,
In the
because mm, because Duolingo said we are in the midst of an AI revolution, in
okay,
process
so
of developing.
okay, so we're in the midst, meaning the middle of it.
A
The
middle.
middle of
Okay.
it. So it's C. It's C.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Impact. Impact.
Impact. Effect.
Effect. Right. And then method.
Method is approach.
Yes, it is. Okay. And
Uh,
celebrities.
Celebrities. mm, per,
Yes, go ahead. Go.
personalities. So
Right.
it is,
Celebrities
yeah.
have personalities. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Decreasing,
Is related to winning. It is last one.
uh, waning, waning,
Yeah.
letter F.
Waning.
Yes.
Waning.
Waning.
Okay.
Yeah. That means to be going away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So there is, let's see, a little discussion here I wanted to do. So, what did you think about what you read?
Mm,
Interesting, not interesting? You already knew? Um,
I can say some my general
uh huh.
answer probably. Uh, uh, AI is something new.
Hmm.
Generally on global scene, and uh, today it is popular that people will always try something new, and maybe
Right,
it is reason why these days AI tool and AI application for learning can be popular, and also it is cheaper
right.
than
Uh huh.
regular class. But for long term, I think popularity of AI will decrease.
Uh huh.
Yeah, for some but I'm not sure. Decrease for some serious learning. For
Right, right.
yeah,
There's all kinds of ways of learning.
yeah.
I've heard I've read an
And
article that immersion, where you actually live in the country that you're trying to learn, is probably the best method. I have tried that method and it didn't work for me.
yeah, I
So,
think I think as tool, AI can be good for teacher
mhm,
as
yes.
tool,
Mhm.
because with AI, teacher can improve lesson
Yes.
according, for
Yes.
example, students mistakes,
Right.
because
Mhm.
AI can filter mistakes and give suggestion which field of language student should improve,
Right.
for example. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, okay. Um, how has technology changed language learning? I know we
uh,
talked about AI, but how has technology in general changed the way we learn? So, if we
for,
think about the main way that we learned was with a teacher in a classroom, and
yeah,
it evolved, it changed over time. How has technology changed that language learning?
for me technology change in 100%
Mm,
way of learning. Why? Because, for example, today I don't use classical English book for learning. I
right,
don't use, because I work remotely. I all day sit in front of a laptop,
right,
and I can use. I work remotely. I can use Google Translate, for example, for
right.
some things.
Hmm.
What else? I have one Blinkist application on my tablet. I use it for reading and learning, because
Right,
I can find book some summary of books,
right,
and what else? On mobile phone, I can check some quizzes, learn grammar,
right.
as we had at beginning of lesson. So I think technology 100% change way of learning.
Abs-
I don't need to go outside. I can book
Right.
lesson
That's
on
another point.
italki. Yeah, this is
Mhm.
also technology way of learning, and yeah, so it is.
Okay. Do you have another language that you would like to study other than English? Is there anything else?
Maybe in business goal, I could learn German, for example,
Okay.
because yeah, because of economy, because of
Uh-huh.
better job opportunities
Right. Uh-huh.
after English. But for me, English is,
Yeah, it's
I
kind
think,
of
enough.
universal
Yeah.
and it's pretty much needed. Okay.
Mhm.
What do you think of using a YouTube uh, video to study English? Do you follow any of the YouTubers that put content on YouTube?
Um, I I practice English with YouTube when I see some courses for education. For
Okay.
example, I can learn some new programming language, for example, or some tool for software development,
Okay.
and in that way, I listen. I listen speakers.
Uh-huh. And
Uh,
it's interesting
yeah.
and you
Also, I before I search special videos for learning.
right.
For example, some podcast, short podcast for listening lessons.
Mhm.
Um, what else? TED Talks video. What is
Right.
popular
Very
for
popular. Mhm.
personal development, and yeah,
Right. Oh,
stuff like that. So I prefer to use YouTube videos in my free time to
so you
improve my
would say
language.
you learn better by listening or writing or looking? What way do you learn the best?
Everything is important, but I think more for example, in vocabulary, for me, reading is better,
Reading
but
is better. Uh-huh.
for pronunciation, listening is better.
Yes.
So I think everything is important.
Right. And when you
Yeah.
combine that listening to the podcast and seeing it on the screen and reading it together with the person, that improves tremendously. Uh,
Hmm.
I follow a particular, it's kind of, do you know what a soap opera is? Do you know what a soap opera
uh,
is?
uh,
It's a
uh,
story. It's
I
just a
don't.
story, and it involves some characters, some people, and they have everyday conversation, and it has a story to it. So I
Hmm.
use that to study with, as well as I do use. I use a program. It's not an AI program. It's a traditional, uh, technologically uh, made program called Rocket
Hmm.
Languages, and I
Hmm.
use that. And
Hmm.
it has all four components: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. And
Hmm.
those, when I think a lot of people have a problem when they only concentrate on listening, but then they can't speak, or
Hmm.
they focus on one part of learning a language
Hmm.
and they can't do the others. So it's very
Hmm.
important that you incorporate or put together all of the components or all the parts of learning a language,
Yes.
whatever method you use.
Hmm.
So, what are your English textbooks look like? Do you use
Uh,
any English textbooks or have I know you've used them in the past. Um,
uh, uh, I use my English textbooks for sometimes remember some goal of lessons. For example, if I more use laptop and mobile phone and tablet, but sometimes I use just for have some plan to remember some note and some vocabulary words.
Okay.
But why? Because I discover new way of writing. Uh, I exercise my writing with AI with ChatGPT.
Right. That's a
Why?
good way.
Yeah, why? Because they can correct my mistakes. Yeah,
Right. So,
and it is reason why I avoid writing on paper. Yeah,
right. I do too.
yeah.
I usually listen to, say, a short paragraph or something, and as I'm listening, I'm writing what I hear, and then I will
Mhm,
go back and check the paragraph and see, did I understand every word? What
mhm.
words did I miss? That kind of thing. That's very helpful. Okay.
I'm I just want questions. What do you think for in case of in case of listening? Is it better to read sentence together while listening, or listening without reading? Why? Because how I can see what is better for remember of pronunciation
Uh
sentence,
huh.
word, specific word. Yeah. Because sometimes it is easier to remember something when together listening and reading.
Yes, it is. That is the best way to do that would be to listen and reading
Yeah.
at the same time. When I use a traditional textbook with my students, I have the audio script and they will be listening to it, and they have the audio script where they can read along so that they
Hmm.
don't forget some of the key information that was said. A lot of times, speakers speak very, very quickly. And so when you're listening for something, and then the exercise will say, okay, what gate number did the person have to go to in the airport? Well, you're listening, but it's very easy to miss what gate number they said. So when
Hmm.
you listen and you read along with
Yeah.
what you're hearing, it enforces that and
Yeah.
makes it
Yeah.
much easier.
Okay.
Okay. What about, have you had any experience with language schools, and what has been your experience?
My first experience with foreign language is was in primary school, and I started with German.
Okay.
Why? Because in Bosnia it is popular to learn German.
Uh-huh.
People go to work,
Okay.
find new job
Sure.
and move with families in
Uh-huh.
Germany. And yeah, so I started with German. Then in high school, I started with English.
Okay.
And yeah, again at university, I had lessons on native on Bosnian language. But when I started with my career, when I got my first job as software engineer, I started improve my English.
Okay. And so, what about a language school? Have you ever gone to just an
Mm.
a language school to learn English or any other language?
Yes, at my university, I went not language school, but it is private language school, and
Okay.
I went at course of 2 months course of English two times per week, for example,
Uh-huh.
two
Okay.
times per week, and yeah,
Was it good
I
or
it was good,
it
but
was
to
good?
be honest, what would be better that teacher is foreign. that we have foreign teacher, because teacher combine native, and I think it is bad. We use more than half lesson on Bosnian language. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's not good. That's not good
yeah,
for you. You need a native speaker, and then as time goes on, you're because your whole point is to learn the new language,
yes,
not to, translate everything as
yes,
you're
yes,
reading. I have
yes.
some students who I will ask them a question, they repeat everything back in their language, and then they answer. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't want to say too much, but it it will slow down the process of learning.
Yes.
Okay. And but I do know that in a lot of countries there are not native English speakers who have to teach the language of English. And so
Hmm.
sometimes it's not the best.
Hmm.
Okay. Would you prefer to study with a teacher or chat GPT?
For speaking, for conversational
Mhm.
skills, I prefer to have face-to-face lesson with teacher.
Right.
But for some grammar, for
Right.
check my reading uh, mistakes, I can check it with GPT.
Right. And sometimes you can use ChatGPT for a particular grammar
Yeah.
issue that you have. Explain past tense to me in my
Yes.
language. And that's really helpful. I have an entire book. I teach a lot of people from Italy, and I have an entire book that is written uh, the explanations are written in Italian, so they're able to understand that a little bit better. But then I go over it in English. So,
Mhm.
okay. What questions would you like to ask an AI maker?
AI maker.
Yeah,
Um, uh, I maybe what is benefits of AI is just that way of per, of performance, because all information we have on GPT, we have same information on Google, on
right,
other
right,
browser. Yeah, and AI is revolution because of natural sentences,
right, right.
and maybe performance, how they put their answers on some fast level,
Oh,
really, how they create models who responds quickly.
right, right.
Yeah, it is interesting because, yeah,
Yeah, it comes from the people, I believe.
yeah,
I know I've seen many job opportunities for AI trainers
yeah.
where they're using people who speak a particular language to train, uh, to write code and things like
Hmm.
that so that it becomes faster. Um, I do occasionally use ChatGPT to write simple lesson plans for people whose level of English is very low. And also, I use it sometimes for writing lesson plans that are. I just finished writing one. It was simple sentences, but it's sentences that you will not hear in a
Hmm.
textbook. For example, one of them that I just finished writing is the phrase, "Are you sure?" And what I did was I created a lesson plan from that phrase, "Are you sure?" And I have an introduction and gave examples. Are you sure about that?
Hmm.
That's something you will never see in a textbook because when you say, "Are you sure about that?" that's a native way of speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Also, are you sure about what you said? Or are you sure that he's coming? Probably, are you sure he's coming is going to be from a textbook. And then I created like simple little dialogues and an exercise for filling in the blanks and things like that. So, and speaking, ask your partner about their plans for the weekend and use the phrase, "Are you sure?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those were very helpful, and I could do that
Yeah.
quickly and devote more time to other things. Okay, let's do one of these role plays. Uh, I'm right here. This is a role play. Uh, your role play is an AI person. You think AI is the best way to learn English. Can you tell other people three reasons why you think it's best? And then we'll go on with the rest of the questions in there.
Mm.
So,
Uh, mm, Three reason why AI is the best way.
I
I
need to
think
take a little time to think, probably.
I think already answered. Maybe
Okay.
it is because AI can quickly check.
Right, it's
Uh,
quick.
yeah,
Uh huh.
AI is quick. Uh, uh, how I can? Yeah, I think improve writing skills,
Uh huh.
in grammar skills.
Okay.
Uh, uh, and what else? Give they can give idea for lessons.
Right. They can give
Yeah,
feedback when
yeah,
you've made a
feedback.
mistake. What
Yeah,
was your mistake? Oh, you mispronounced this, or your
yeah,
sentence was not correct
yeah,
in the structure.
yeah.
That's one of the things. Another reason why AI is good. Um, you can role play. I like the role play aspect of it. Whereas if, well, in face to face and in textbooks, you can do some role playing
Mm-hmm,
where, perhaps you're at a restaurant and you're ordering food or something like that. You can do that. But I think
mm-hmm.
AI does it in a very good way. Okay. Can you tell me uh, something that is wrong about learning or using AI to learn?
Mm. Uh, wrong. Wrong is maybe because not not too much naturally
Right.
pronunciation, because
Hmm.
as machine they cannot make breaks, cannot make points.
Right.
I'm not sure, cannot uh, use slangs as
Right. Common
maybe,
slangs.
yeah, something some cannot change accent, for example.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, it is not 100% naturally.
Right. Right. And as I think we're in the very beginning kind of. I mean, I know we've gone pretty far with AI right now, but I think it's really just a small part of it, and there's so much more that we can do with it. Can you tell me which one of these do you think is the least useful for learning a language? YouTube, face-to-face lessons, or textbooks? Which one would you say is the least
um,
useful?
I will say YouTube, if I choose between three.
And why is that?
Because I think better we better think, we better memorize things,
Uh-huh.
what we speak face to face or what we write, than what we just listen.
Right.
Fo-
It will be, you will listen to it, maybe you will get one or two words from it and remember it, but
yeah.
for the most part, uh, unless you continuously listen to it over and over, it is not going to go into your brain. Uh,
Yeah.
Repetition is the most important thing in learning a language, and having a plan where, okay, I have free time. I'm going to study for an hour, and this is what I'm going to do. That kind of plan is much better than saying, oh, look at this YouTube video.
Hmm.
It's going to tell me how to say thank you in 5 different ways. Well, that's not going to be very helpful. I mean,
Mm.
you may remember one thing, but the rest of it, you're not going to remember it.
Hmm.
So, okay, let's see. We have 6 minutes. At this point, I would like to speak with you